Hi guys, hope everyone's well and welcome back to the education section. This video is going to be on training and it's going to be in the education section beginner series. This video is simply going to touch on pretty much everything you need to know, or most of the basics you need to know for kind of getting started with the coaching process or getting started with your fitness journey. It's basically going to kind of go over the basics as simple as I possibly can for someone who's maybe new to the gym, new to coaching, or just to ensure they've definitely got a good foundation of knowledge of the basic principles that matter most. So I'm going to be, like I said, going over the basics and hopefully trying to keep it short and sweet. I'm not very good at kind of not rambling, to be fair, but I'll try my best. So, some key terms to get started that you kind of need to know for muscle growth. You'll either need to know this just for your training program when I send it across, or just for your kind of own knowledge when kind of reading things online, etc., and just for your own kind of own knowledge for listening or watching to this video. So, hypertrophy, that simply means an increase in growth of muscle cells. So basically, getting bigger, putting on muscle is hypertrophy. Reps is simply a single repetition of an exercise. If you go up and down once, if you do one press up, that's 1 rep. If you do 10 press ups, that is 10 reps pretty much. A set is basically a collection of reps. So if you do 10 press ups and rest, that's 1 set of 10 reps. If you do 10 press ups twice with a rest period in between, that would be 2 sets of 10. A rep range is simply the amount of reps you aim for. So if on your training program it says 1 times 8 to 10, that means you do 1 set. The 1 obviously equals 1 set, and then the times equals how much reps you do. So 8 to 10, meaning you want to land in the 8 to 10 rep range. However, what matters most is training to failure. So never stop a set unless prescribed due to being at the top of the rep range. If I say do 8 to 10 reps and you can get 11 or 12, get 11 or 12. Don't stop shy of failure unless you're purposely doing it for a very good reason. But for most individuals, especially beginners, they should be training to failure because it's a skill that takes practice. If you don't practice it, you won't get good at it. You won't be able to improve your training intensity, which will limit your progress. And your split is simply your training program. So, for example, if someone does an upper body session, a lower body session, an upper body session, a lower body session, and repeats that, that's their training split. Whereas if someone does a push day, a pull day, and a leg day, that's their training split. So basically what your training program is. Volume is the amount of work you do. So this isn't black and white. There's a lot of things that will impact volume. Not all volume's the same. Meaning is, like, let's say a leg extension and a squat. Both of them will work your quads, your thigh muscle. But they're not equal because squats will work other muscles as well. They'll be harder to recover from. They'll train the muscle at a different kind of position or length. So basically volume's the amount of work you do, but it's never black and white, so bear that in mind. Training frequency is how often you train a muscle group or how often you train. For example, if I train legs twice a week, that's 2 times a week training frequency for my legs. And progressive overload is basically when you increase the stress placed on your target muscle. So if you need to apply progressive overload for muscle growth. And let's say if you are doing, let's say you're doing 80 kilos on 10. Exercise doesn't matter. To increase or to apply progressive overload, you either need to get more reps, more weight, improve execution by getting more range of motion or controlling lower phase more. Basically, or doing it in a more fatigued state, let's say later in the session. But basically, you're making it more difficult, you're making it harder. And the goal in the gym is to do things you've never been able to do before, from a performance point of view. And training to failure is basically training until momentary muscular failure, so until you can't get another rep. So you involuntarily fail. So not when it starts to burn, not when it starts to feel heavy. Training to failure is when you're trying as hard as you can and you can't get another rep. So that's training to failure. And I recommend training to failure in your program, unless I've instructed otherwise, meaning as much reps as you can with good form. The reason I say that is I don't want you to do a deadlift to failure if you can't maintain good form when you're just starting out. So, what training is best? What training is best is whatever you can adhere to. Compliance is a science. Consistency is key. That's going to lead to the best results. Adherence aside, so not considering what you enjoy the most, hypertrophy training is best for improving your body composition, meaning training to build muscle is going to be best because it improves your shape, it makes you look leaner, obviously you build muscle from it, it increases your calorie maintenance from having more muscle, so you burn more calories at rest, and it increases obviously your muscularity, as I just touched on. And